You ever been in one of those arguments with a friend where, like, halfway through, you both realize you're not even fighting about the same thing? Well, we're going to dive into this amazing short story that shows exactly how tiny little differences in language can turn a simple disagreement into a hilarious all-out war.
So, can a single word really start a war between friends? The answer, as you're about to see, is a huge yes. Today, we're going to look at the story of Tunde and Kofi, two roommates whose friendship gets put to the ultimate test, all because they speak the same language, just a little differently.
All right, so let's meet our guys. In one corner, we have Tunde from Nigeria. He's all energy, all fire, all urgency. And in the other corner, we've got Kofi from Ghana, who is just as laid back and cool as can be. They're friends, they're roommates, but one little piece of paper is about to mess everything up. And here's how it all kicks off. Tunde just storms into the apartment, his face looking like a thundercloud, and he slams this crumpled utility bill right down on the table. I mean, the battle lines are drawn before anyone's even said a word about money. You can just feel that tension in the air. Okay, so the fight is on. But what's so interesting is that the argument isn't really just about who used more electricity. Nope. It's about their completely different ways of handling stress, money, and, as we're about to find out, the actual words they're using to talk about it.
Tunde leads with this absolute classic piece of Nigerian pidgin. You can just hear the pain in his voice. The light bill has eaten my salary. For him, this isn't just an annoyance, it's a financial disaster, and he needs it sorted out right now. And Kofi's reaction? It's the polar opposite. He's just chillin', scrolling on his phone. His Chaley, no be wahala is that classic Ghanaian calm. It basically means, hey friend, it's no big deal. But for Tunde, who's already fired up, that chill attitude is like throwing gasoline on a fire.
Tunde is not having it. He just launches into this whole list of accusations. Watching a losing Chelsea match all day, charging 3 different power banks at the same time. He literally calls it electricity murder. He doesn't see Kofi as relaxed. He sees him as careless and expensive. And here we go. This is the line. This is the sentence that sends the whole thing spinning into chaos. Tunde wants to get this over with, so he uses the Nigerian pidgin phrase, sharp, sharp. But the real problem, the real landmine, is that one little word, balance. So this is the moment everything pivots. The fight completely stops being about the bill, and it becomes about the words they're using. See, they both think they're speaking pidgin, but these subtle regional differences are about to cause a massive communication breakdown. Okay, let's break this down because the entire conflict is right here in these 3 words. When Tunde says balance, he just means, hey, what's the remaining money you owe me? But Kofi hears it literally and is like, balance? Did I fall down or something? Then Tunde calls him a mumu, which to a Nigerian is like calling someone a simpleton, someone who doesn't get it. But to a Ghanaian, that's a serious insult, like calling someone a fool. Even Abeg, which Tunde uses for please, Kofi just uses to kind of chill out a situation. It's a total hilarious mess. And you can just hear how genuinely offended Kofi is here. The whole conversation has gone completely off the rails. It's not about an electricity bill anymore. As far as Kofi's concerned, this is now about personal insults. Tunde's attempt to fix the money problem has just made things 100 times worse. Now, Tunde is desperately trying to explain his own slang, which, of course, is just digging the hole even deeper. He's not just mad about the money now. He's frustrated that his own words are being twisted. It's just a perfect example of how you can be speaking the same language and still not understand each other at all. But right when it feels like they're just going to argue forever, the whole story shifts. They start to realize the problem isn't that they're trying to hurt each other. It's that they're just misinterpreting everything. They actually start translating for each other, not just the words, but their entire points of view. After Kofi explains a little bit of his own slang, he hits Tunde with this perfect, playful comeback. He takes the very word that started the insult war, mumu, and he just flips it right back on him. But this time, it's not an insult at all. It's a joke. And that's the moment all that tension finally just pops. And this is like the peace offering. Kofi teaches Tunde a word from his dialect, Jumio. He's basically saying, look, next time you want me to hurry up, just say Jumio. Use my word. It's this small little act of cultural exchange, and it completely bridges the gap that was between them. And just like that, the fight is over. Tunde just lets out this huge, deep laugh. All the anger is gone, and it's replaced with this mutual understanding. They finally see how ridiculous the whole thing was, and they joke that maybe what their apartment really needs is a translator. So, this is way more than just a funny story about two roommates, right? It's this perfect little parable about communication, about friendship, and about culture. Let's break down what we can really learn from Tunde and Kofi's little linguistic showdown. At the end of the day, this story is such a great reminder that true communication is all about shared context, not just shared words. It shows how the tiniest little shifts in language can cause massive problems, but also that a little bit of humor and patience can fix almost any misunderstanding. And, it's a cool reminder that Pidgin isn't just one language. It's this incredibly rich and diverse family of dialects, and each one is a window into its own unique culture. And we have to give full credit for this awesome piece of storytelling to Elijah Christopher from the African Writer's Notebook. It's just a fantastic example of how a simple story can teach us some very real lessons about how we all talk to each other every single day.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think back in your own life. When has one single word, or a phrase, or just a simple misinterpretation caused a completely unnecessary fight? I bet it happens a whole lot more often than we even realize.